everyone, my name is Jolie.
And my name is Steven.
We are so excited to continue this series with you called Animal Friends. Today, we're going to be talking about fish. Steven, what do you want your job to be when you grow up?
Mostly a coder, an engineer, or something in general in in computer science.
Wow, very cool. So let me tell you about what a lot of people did back then in Jesus' time. A lot of them were fishermen. What fishermen did is they sat on a boat and they put a net in there and they tried to get fish. Some days they would find fish, but others days that they couldn't. This was a way that some people made money to support their families. So Andrew and Simon, two of Jesus' disciples, were fishermen. But sometimes the ocean doesn't have a lot of fish to catch. So Jesus was watching Andrew and Simon cast their net into the sea. And Steven, did they find any fish that day?
No, they did not.
No, they didn't. So let's see what Jesus tells them in Matthew 4:19.
Then he said, "Follow me and I will make you fishers of men."
Very good. Now, what do we think that means, to be fishers of men?
Fishers of men means to tell people about Jesus' words.
Very good. So instead of catching fish, he's telling them that God has a way bigger plan for them. God wants them to begin to talk to people about Jesus so that they could believe. So when Jesus told them this, he was basically asking them to be his disciples. And it was up to the disciples, to Andrew and Simon, to decide if they wanted to be his disciples. Did they choose that?
Yes, they did.
They did. So let's continue our story. Afterwards, Jesus saw two other people trying to catch fish in the ocean. Their names were James and John. He also called them to be his disciples and follow him just like Simon and Andrew. And they too immediately left everything, including their nets, and left to serve the Lord like his disciples did.
Immediately after Jesus told them this, they dropped all their stuff and even including their nets and went to follow Jesus' words.
Wow, this must mean that they have had a lot of faith in Jesus Christ to just leave everything behind, including their own job, just to follow him. They had to trust God a lot to do that. If we were in the same position as Simon and Peter, Andrew, James, and John, would we have left everything behind ourselves so we could follow Jesus?
Yes, we would.
Yeah, very good. Believe it or not, Jesus is calling us to be his disciples every day. He's asking us every day, but sometimes we just don't hear him. We can be Jesus' disciples by spreading his word to people at school, people that don't know him, people at the park, everywhere. Not just by our words, but also by our actions. We have the same exact calling as his disciples. So instead of worrying so much about things on this earth, God is calling us to a bigger calling. He wants you to be a fisher of men. So let's memorize this verse in Matthew 4:19 that we said earlier. Let's say it together. Follow me and I will make you fishers of men.
Follow me and I'll make you fishers of men.
Very good. Now all together. Follow me and I will make you fishers of men. In this verse, God is telling us our calling. Like Jesus' disciples, we should be willing to leave everything behind and go follow him. We shouldn't be afraid of everything when God is with us. And anything. We have to believe and have faith that, like the disciples of Jesus, when they left everything behind, they were rewarded. And God rewarded them big time when they chose to follow Jesus. So now, after this short break, we'll continue with our craft. Welcome back. So, Steven, how can we be fishers of men in our everyday lives?
How you can be fishers of men in your everyday life is by showing the image of Jesus in your actions and get people to ask why you act like this way.
Very good. That's a really good example of how we can be fishers of men. When people see the love of Christ in us, they want to know where we get it, and they'll ask about it, and that will be your opportunity to tell people about Jesus. So, let's continue with our short craft so we can remember this story about the fishers of men and how the disciples were fishing for fish, but then they became fishers of men. So all you need is a paper plate, construction paper, scissors, and a pencil. So let's get started. First, we're going to take the paper plate and cut it in half. So we'll use half this paper plate to be our boat. Next, we're going to use the construction paper and the scissors to cut out some little fish. You can draw them out first with a pencil. after we draw it, we can go ahead and cut out the little fish. Now we can put the fish on the little boat to represent how they tried to catch the fish, but now they became fishers of men. Thank you guys for joining us on Animal Stories today in CYC. We hope you remember this message everywhere you go and that we become fishers of men ourselves. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.